Hello guys, this is How Awesome and this is your daily dose of awesome. Okay, let's get started. I have another book review, book talk to share with you. This is a book review on Felicia Day's book called You're Never Weird on the Internet Almost. Forwarded by Joss Whedon, you know, the guy who did like a lot of Marvel movies, including but not limited to Guardians of the Galaxy. He's really fantastic. He was also the director of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So yeah, that's pretty cool, right? And there she is on the cover wearing a very techno-colored dress in front of a green screen. So very techie book, very nerd extravaganza kind of thing. And also I'll be reviewing The Guild comic book. The Guild comic book that was co-written by Felicia Day and Jim Rugg. Yeah, Jim Rugg. And so this is the prequel to the Guild TV show. So there's that. Okay, so first I'll focus on the book. Now, if you've ever seen Felicia Day on Supernatural, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or her web series, The Guild, she plays Codex, and I will link you all that stuff down below. It's on her YouTube channel, Geek Sundry. And it's awesome because it's just a really funny show about gamers and gamer life. And it's very autobiographical. Most of the characters she kind of based off points in her life. Like Floyd Petrowski is based off her when she was really depressed about the Guild. And it also talks about how she was a young kid and how her mom kind of took her out of she went to a private school where her teacher was a Bible thumper. And her mom discovered that the teacher was trying to force Felicia into Bible thumping, so the mom took them out of school. Not well played, she thought, because, oh crap, she's now out of school. And then her mom decided to homeschool her and her brother. Okay, cool. Homeschool it is. And then she talks about her many misadventures in homeschooling and how pretty much homeschooling was kind of not really. Her mom didn't really follow curriculum. She just kind of was in and out on that. She let the kids really do whatever they wanted, including play a lot of video games, her and her brother, Ryan, because it's spelled R-Y-O-N, and she became attached to the Ultima Dragons in a game called Ultima, and then she talks about her progression to playing other games, and then meeting up with some of the Ultima Dragons in real life at one of the kids' houses, and having her first kiss with one of the Ultima Dragons. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You got to read the book for that. And how it was incredibly awkward and how she just did it to kind of get it over with. And she also talks about her progression into being a young child prodigy and then going to college when she was only 16. And she didn't really have a high school diploma, but she has 2 college degrees in math and music. So that's interesting. My eyes, look at that raccoon. Anyway, so after she finishes college, she decides on her own to kind of pursue acting as her day job. So she moves out to LA with sparkles in her eyes and, you know, the classic dreaming of a career on the big screen kind of thing. And we're discovering that LA is not like that, that she ended up, her first role was a role that she got cut out of in a commercial, and then she did a creepy movie by some French dude where she was auditioning for the lead with a million other chicks in like this creepy apartment complex from the skeevy porn end of LA. There's like a neighborhood that's all about porn, and that's where she had her first audition. And he was like, oh, do you mind showing your breasts? She says, I do, and I won't. So she didn't, and she got like a secondary character in that role. And then she started doing a lot of commercial acting and McDonald's and Burger King and stuff after that. She got some roles in Supernatural and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Concurrently, she played Charlie in Supernatural, and I forget her character in Buffy, but she was in the theme song, so you can see her in there too. And then when she started, she took a writing class because she always wanted to write a TV pilot or a movie pilot. And her teacher, Kim Evie, said that she was really great and invited her to join this group called the Check-Ins, which were a group of ladies that wanted to make sure their goals were achieved with the help of each other to make sure they keep pursuing their goals in life. So Felicia obviously was starting to game more and started to not really pay attention to her own life. Her boyfriend was starting to get concerned, and then she decided that she was going to come up with a game show pilot about gamers. Took it to a few networks, but they dumped the idea, and that's when her friend said, we'll produce it on our own in our garages by ourselves. We don't need a network's help for that. And so basically that's what happened. They took it to themselves. They didn't have a network's help. They filmed it in each other's garages and with each other's help. The reason Sandeep was cast as Zabu in the show was because he had 2 cameras that she could use, but she said that she'll never admit it and she'd take it to her grave. It's a really funny, quirky book. I mean, the book opens up with her going to a Build-A-Bear, first chapter, and how she wanted to make herself a companion, and basically how a couple of fans from the Guild web show ran into her and said, oh my god, you're Felicia Day, can we have some pictures? And a lot of people didn't know who she was, so they said, are you famous? Are you famous? Are you famous? And she kind of had an adverse reaction to that, so she took the pictures and she said, oh, I'm just here shopping for my nephew, not shopping for myself because this is a kid's store, right? And her friend said, yeah, this is mainly for kids. So that's when a couple more people started crowding, and that's when, you know, the mother said, oh, I called my son and he has no idea who you are, and the shopkeep lady at Build-A-Bear, and Felicia said, oh, that doesn't bother me, and her fans were like, oh, he's probably just a woman hater. And that's when Felicia says, everybody's an asshole on the internet, and that's when she kind of turns away from her fans because they say, well, we're not assholes on the internet. And she says, leave it to me to get rid of my own roadies and my own fans. Classic Felicia. So, with that in mind, what ends up happening is, with the making of the Guild, she was nervous constantly about people liking the show. And they constantly had to sneak around her apartment complex because her manager wasn't okay with her filming there. But eventually they managed to make the first season, and it was a hit, so they signed up with Xbox finally to release it onto Xbox Live. And then after that, they released it on YouTube as well, and it became a hit because she has family and friends to keep watching every single episode over and over again until the clicks got bigger and larger than life. She's a fellow Cancerian. She's a Cancer like me, so she was born in June or July. And what else can I tell you about this book? She also had Gamergate problems because, you know, Gamergate is this movement of crazy gamer people that think that women are trying to ruin video games. And so they hack and dox people and release their information to the world so people can get harassed. And that's what happened to Felicia, but they already hacked her a year before, and they just kept the information and re-released it when she became a problem. And it was over her making a country music video involving gaming and a country music star that apparently pissed off a whole slew of crazy gamer guys. And basically, that's what caused her information to get released. And then she became high stress. She couldn't really focus on making another season of the Guild. They were already on season 4 or 5. And unfortunately, her high stress and not wanting to make the rest of the show caused her to break off her relationship with Kim Evie, who was the producer of the show. And also she had problems with having to pay the actors because the actors wanted to get paid more because the first few seasons they got paid nothing for the show. And so their agents were trying to get them to get paid more, which obviously is the agent's job. So she said, oh, you know, I'm going to pay it out of my own pocket, just give them what they want. She was really stressed out. She couldn't make another episode. And then finally, she finished the Guild. And afterwards, her life kind of started over, and she's working on a bunch of internet projects where she started Geek Sundry, a YouTube channel that was actually sponsored and funded by the YouTube CEOs. And then finally the funding ended 2 years later. But Geek Sundry is still up, and she sold it, but she's still COO, Chief Commanding Officer or something. COO, is that what it means? Anyway, so that's what she is at the company. And she still has a place there, and she still very much has influence there with content that they produce for the YouTube channel. And she's currently acting in a bunch of other stuff. And, you know, it's just a real funny book. That's the end of it, and she thanks anybody who's a gamer or a geek and to love your weirdness. And because she was a homeschooled kid that went to college for like a bunch of years, and she didn't really know how to be social. She was very antisocial, and she was very socially awkward. So yeah, from one socially awkward person to another. This book is a must-read. It's hilarious, just like her. She's if you've ever seen The Guild, she's kind of exactly like Codex. She's very neurotic, and she's very, very conscious of herself. And she even talks about her first few days on the internet, because she was on the internet since like it started, before it became a thing. And she was on World of Warcraft, which the Guild was inspired off of. And she's thinking of starting her own line of cups and inspirational t-shirts, like, you can attempt anything. And the cup company is going to be called Have a Nice Day, because, get it, play on her name, Felicia Day? No? Okay, no response. So yeah, this you can pick up at your local library. That's kind of what I did. And there's some cool, quirky reviews. Oh yeah, she includes pictures of herself throughout her life, like any good author. You know, really embarrassing stuff. Okay, let's see what else she includes in here. And she was actually a brunette, I think. Not a natural redhead. Anyway, so that is You Are Never Weird on the Internet Almost, and this made me love her so much more. She's just incredibly funny. She's now my favorite actress. This girl right here. She's my BFF right now. Okay, and then I'm going to review. She also made a Guild comic book with I think this is Dark Horse Comics? Yeah, I think it is. Yep, Dark Horse Books. It's Dark Horse comic book. $12.99 US, so it might be overpriced here in Canada. Anyway, it's about Codex's beginnings, slash Sid Sherman, and her friend Zandeep, or was it Sujin in the comic book, and slash Zabu, and April Lou slash Tinkerballa, Clara Vork, and Blades. The beginning of their guild, how she met them online when she started playing the game, and about her creepy boyfriend who's a very skeevy kind of guy who is in a terrible band that she writes the music for, and he's a jerk to her. But her hymen gets in the way of her breaking up with him, and her free psychologist time because her father pays for it with his insurance. And how she buys the game first time, and there's her first meeting with Tinkerballa, but Tink is racing out. And then when she logs on, she meets Blades for the first time, and how she creates her character. She just roams around, and then her first meeting with Blades, which is right here. That's Blades. And then also she has a run-in with, let's see, Vork for the first time, and then she becomes friends with Clara. Clara was her actual first friend on the game. And also it shows the deterioration of her social life. See, there's Clara. And what happens is she finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her with a guy named Gunther, which was in her orchestra that she played with. And so she kind of leaves him, and then she plays online, and there's Zabu slash Sujin, Blades slash Simon. So yeah, these are some of the characters from the guild, and basically that's how they become the Knights of Good, because she couldn't handle killing kittens in the game. And then she finds out that her boyfriend stole her music that she wrote for his band and took credit for all of it and didn't give her any. So she decides to get revenge on him in a very different kind of way after she meets... By the way, she also meets Tinkerballa here. Here is Tinkerballa right there. You can see her. That's Tinkerballa. And basically that's the guild playing together. All the characters. And what she decides to do to her boyfriend when she discovers he's cheating on her is she pretty much sets the music she wrote for him on fire, but it accidentally has repercussions, and she sets everything on fire, including his cello, which was apparently a $100,000 cello, and she has to pay him in installments for his stupid cello, because he stole her idea of starting a punk band slash classical music. Anyway, but she says it was worth it just to get payback on the skeevy little bastard who cheated on her with a guy, and then cheats on that guy, Gunther, with a studio head's daughter. Classy guy, this one. His name was Trevor, and he was a weird dude. There he is with his skeevy band, Trevor. Codex / Sid Sherman, and whoever these random MIA homeless people are. So yeah, this is a fun read and a great prequel to anybody who ever wants to actually watch The Guild. It's based on World of Warcraft, and World of Warcraft is a fun game. I never really got too into it, because I'm more of a console gamer, not a PC gamer. I like playing on consoles. I like playing by myself. I don't want other gamers in my game. That sounds offensive, but I find things a lot easier to do when it's by myself. You know? So that's all I have to say. It's a great read. It's really colorful. It's definitely a great comic book. The worlds are really beautiful. Like, that's Sid, and that's her dream version of herself, Codex. You can tell that she gave her bigger boobs, curlier hair, tinier waist, bigger butt. Because you can be anybody else in an online world, right? That was the whole premise of The Guild. Awesome, awesome read. Both of these I recommend getting from your library in tandem, because they're brothers in arms. Or should I say sisters in arms running in tandem? Yeah! 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 Get them, buy them. But yeah, I'll link everything in the description below so you can see the stuff on your own and watch The Guild. Yeah. Okay. So that is all I have to say. Okay. Bye guys. This has been Hello Awesome with your daily dose of awesome. Didn't think you'd see me so soon, did ya? Did ya? You didn't. Bad subscriber.